Hello, welcome back to the Robaer Report. This, of course, I am, of course, Robaer Washington, your host of the Robaer Report. Tonight is Monday night again, 8 o'clock, and we're here to interview another exciting guest for the Robaer Report. Uh, right here, we have one of guy I grew up with, sort of, kind of. He's a couple of years younger than I am behind me, but his name is Tommie. Mr. Tommie. He has a trucking company. He and I began talking couple of weeks ago. He called me about my former line of work in insurance. Then he told me what he does, and I said, you know what? I need to talk to. Well, his name is Tommie Cotton. Need to talk to Mr. Cotton. I ended up knowing working. Well, not working. I was a teacher back in the day in high school. One of his brothers was one of my students, and I got to know his little brother. Then I was like, man, you look like somebody I know, man. And so he started telling me who his brother was, and then from there I learned who Mr. Tommie Cotton was. So, Mr. Cotton, how you doing today, sir?
Doing all right.
Gotcha. So we're from Starkville, Mississippi. I'm currently in Maryland now, Gatesburg, I believe. Mr. Cotton, where you at this moment?
I'm in Starbucks right now.
Here in Starkville, Mississippi. And so what we're going to talk about today is his line of work, the trucking business. He's a professional trucker. From what I understand, he has his own business, possibly his own line of authority. We'll get into that. And he's going to explain what his idea of trucking is and how he makes his money and goes about his day-to-day in his business. So, Mr. Tommie, how you doing today, man?
All right.
Gotcha. So tell us a little bit, man. We're gonna stay here for a few moments. We ain't gonna keep you too long today. How did you end up getting into the trucking business?
Uh, I had a few family members in trucking, but I was working at Walmart and I was talking to a guy about trucking. So
Okay.
I went and did a little research on it, and I went to TDI in Tupelo, Mississippi,
Okay.
and they trained us how to drive trucks.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, okay. You know one thing. So let me back up. One thing I didn't share with you was that one of my friends, he lives in Arlington, Texas. He has his own trucking company, and he's from Starkville, as a matter of fact. And so I worked in his office doing his IFTA logs and just managing some of the paperwork. He was slowly training me how to take care of his business while he was away on the road. So I never actually got on the road with him. Never understood what his training process was about. So if you can, and one other thing is that one of the things I did learn about trucking was that a lot of times it is family run. So it's almost like family members drive trucks for generations. So a grandfather may have drove and given it to his son, and the son gave it to the grandkids, and they keep going down from there. So while you were at TDI, what did you like about what they were training you that made you say this is something that I want to continue to do?
Well, the harder part about trucking is bagging the truck up. And after we got our permit, they focused on teaching us how to bag up for the total of 3 weeks and learning how to shift for 10 speed. Of course, you can get your license in a manual, in an automatic too, but it would be a restriction on your license where you couldn't drive nothing but an automatic.
Okay.
So the guys that were teaching us, they used to be truckers and they shared a couple of their stories, but it was mainly the idea of the money you can make starting out because I went to college to be a coach, and education is paying so low right now. As you can see, they show it on the news every day that they're looking for teachers, and I decided to go drive a truck a little bit and get my money up and get financially stable, then go back and teach.
Wow. Okay. Man, you said a mouthful right there, man. Because that is absolutely true what you said regarding teaching. I just brought it up. I was in the field. wasn't paying a whole lot. All right, wasn't paying. And let me put these banners up real quick for our advertisers. It wasn't paying a whole lot, and I noticed that, and I needed to find something different. So I ended up eventually going into the insurance deal. So you saw trucking as a way to make some income for yourself. When you talk about this income or how much money you can make, did they teach you all this like when you first got into TDI in the school, or was it like later on in your training, or when you first got the job that you found out the income that you can make?
Now the basically trucking is really like a regular job, and when they focus on teaching you at the school is how to drive it, the to make sure other people safe on the road, make sure you're driving safe and other people safe on the road. So when I first got my first job, I started out teaming with someone.
Okay,
I was making really $1,200 to $1,500 a week, and you get paid weekly. So I just was driving and happy to see the world at first,
mm-hmm.
and then I started. You out there, you seeing other guys, and they telling you they got their own truck and how they doing it just word of mouth. And then what got me kind of looking into other stuff. But I did research for about 3 years before I started this, try to
Okay,
get my own truck.
okay, gotcha. Okay, so you were a part of the business. You were working for somebody else, right? You started out as an employee. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so you started out as an employee, and then you learned the skill set from another company before you moved into your own business. And that's a way from what I learned about entrepreneurship, because that's pretty much what we want to talk about, or what we are talking about, is that you learn from somebody else. You get those mistakes early when it's not on your dime, and so that you can learn how not to make mistakes. And then when it's time for you to go out on your own, it won't cost you as much in your learning curve. So while you were out on the road, yeah. So where did you travel? Were you just East Coast? Or were you local? Were you driving nationwide or what?
at first when I started driving for Big M Diesel out of Blue Mountain, Mississippi. So we drove everything east of the Mississippi River, Midwest and Northeast.
Okay.
That's all I drove for my first 2 years.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, wow. So how long were you on the road? And then when I assume you still had your permanent residence in Starville, Mississippi. How long were you on the road at a time? And then how long would you be able to sit at your permanent residence before you had to go back out?
Basically, you'll come home Friday around by noon, and then you'll leave back out Sunday.
Okay,
Prefer around by noon because everyone get out of church.
okay, gotcha. Okay, wow. Okay, so you did just say you were an employee, you worked for somebody, and so they had y'all on the road 5 days a week, and you got your weekends off. That's correct.
Well, the first company I started, it was bi-weekly. You'd be out 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I get
Wow.
home time twice a month.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
And after I put in 6 months, I started going home every week.
Okay. Hmm. Was that 6 months? Was that your decision, or was that like company policy?
Now they'll let you come home every week, but your pay wasn't gonna be about then. So what I started mixing it up. They'll let you come home every week if you want. It's mandatory to stay out 2 weeks. So after I got myself together, I got another one of my friends to join me.
Okay.
And we started a team. We stayed out 3 weeks at a time.
Yo. Okay. Wow. What was that process like for you to convince your friend? Did you was it the money or they wanted to get out and see the world? What did you say to them that's made them go to trucking school to start doing what you're doing? What was that conversation like?
Oh, they seen a change in my lifestyle.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a great one. That's a great one. Okay. That's good, man. So I got you. So when you say lifestyle, was it the cars? Was it the jewelry? Was it your attitude? Was it just you just had stacks on stacks on stacks, nice clothes, and what comes with having access to money? What was
I had nice clothes, but I had also got myself a nice little car,
it? Okay.
and I purchased a mobile home too. So they were looking at how good I got within a year and a half in the game.
Yo. Okay. Okay. So you was a mentor status for people, man. That's awesome. That is awesome, Tommy. Because I'm not gonna act like Starving Mississippi is such a bad and wretched, rugged place. It's actually a nice community. For the most part, it's a nice community in a nice Mississippi town. I mean, it's a nice southern town in Mississippi. But when it comes to access to resources, because it is the South, because it is Mississippi, people such as your age, between your 30s, having access to the finer things, you may not see that as often. So you brought the finer things to people, and then your friend, which became your coworker, decided to come on board. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So y'all was out these 3 weeks at a time. Uh, did you all's truck have one of those beds on the truck, or were you all getting off the road, staying at local hotels? Did they have accommodation set up for you all as you travel?
When we started, we had that double bump, and it was APU, and we were still working for a company. So while we were working for that company, I was starting to look into the own authority and what you can do with your own truck and trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So I left Big M and went to Chicago, where they started me as an independent contractor. But I was
Mm.
driving their truck, and that's when I learned about the 1099 and what to do on the taxes, and I started paying attention to the gas and all that. So I was getting in the process of getting my own.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm gonna feed off the one of the statements you just made. You started paying attention to the gas. Gas is one of the it, gas is the biggest in my opinion. From when I was doing the research, is one of the big expenses outside of insurance for having your trucking company.
Right.
How did you manage spending? How did you wrap your mind around spending $800 at one time at the pump? Because that's 30 minutes of stamina. Explain that just for people who are interested in trucking. They hear about the money as you talked about or the lifestyle. They hear about the being able to travel. They hear about owning their own company. They hear about the training, but standing at that pump watching $800 go into your truck. How did you manage that in your own mind to be able to say, "I'm gonna
You
keep
talking
doing it"?
about now from the beginning when I got my truck?
When you first got your truck, even to now?
Well, when I first got my truck, it didn't take me about $500 to fill it up.
Okay,
For now, at the pump, it'll take you about 1,300.
okay,
So what you do is you drive the truck, figure out how many miles your truck can put down, which is my truck. I can get 6.7 to the gallon,
okay,
and you know the size of your tanks. So then, once you fill your truck up, I go about 300 and some miles, and then I put more D's in there that keep it small through the week. And
okay,
then on Friday, I know I'm coming home. I won't put none in, and I know the start of pay periods.
Okay. 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 Gotcha. Wow. Okay. That's a good strategy to have on, which is important. That's a good business move to have, business knowledge to have when you're out there, so you're not overspending your money. So you won't have enough to put gas in your car.
Yeah,
Because one of the things that I learned was, and if at any time we're talking, man, you can cut me off and talk, because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm feeding off what you're saying. So another thing I found just driving down the road, I saw tires. Tires is a big part of it, because I was driving one day and the tire just rolled off the truck right next to me. And I'm like, I didn't even think that was possible. And it just went rolling down the street. So that trucker had to pull over and order a new tire from, I don't know. It wasn't AAA. It was some company that came and assisted him.
the
I
Loves Petrol TA. Those guys come out and service you with the tire thing. You might have to, when you buy tires, you want to buy all your tires, the front of the truck, and if you're on your trailer, you want all your tires
mhm.
brand new at the same time. One of the biggest mistakes guys do is, I'm gonna buy this tire, and this tire is new, so it's making the other tire uneven, and
Mm,
later on that pressure will bust it,
okay.
and that tire thing comes from your pre-trip.
Okay.
If you see a tire bust on the road, he been riding on the wire and he knew it was going down, and it started to ride and show that wire. And
Okay.
sometimes in the summer it gets so hot that they'll just pop.
Okay. Okay. That's is that a liability on their that can cause their insurance premium to go up if the tire busts like that and the tire rolls? If you all studied this, if you did not, I mean, I understand. If the tire hits somebody's car or if it causes damage on the highway, is that something that their insurance company would look at them and not be able to service that claim for them?
They'll fix the car they'll fix the car, but for a tire to roll off or pop or anything like that, or wheel seal or something, that all comes from not pre-tripping your vehicle.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So the pre-trip is vital. And pre-trip, is that every time you start the truck or before you make a run from point A to point B?
Pre-trip is every time you go to your truck, you check the oil, all the water, with all the fluids in the truck, and everything under the hood, under your trailer, under your truck, check for air leaks and all that. It's a long list of things that you check before you even go about proceeding your truck.
Okay.
And then you do a post trip at night.
Okay.
Same thing as a pre trip. But it just, when you get finished with your trip, that'll keep down some of the wear and tears on your truck.
Okay.
Because you know if
Okay.
that tire roll out and hit a car, you know your insurance is going up.
Yeah.
And you got what they call a CSA score, which is a safety score,
Yeah.
that if it's too high, you can't get certain loans from people, so they're planning to factor in your money.
Mm, okay. Man. So by not following through on that on the pre-trip and post-trip, it starts to mess with a trucker's finances. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. It can
Oh,
mess with your finance.
no. That's so yeah. So like when I hear people talk about trucking, I'm asking these questions because I don't really hear these conversations when I'm just out and about in the city or something. You'll see a trucker and they're talking about how much money they have. Some may pull out the debit card, they pull out the cash, showing a little flash, but they don't
Yeah.
really talk about the problem.
The more money you make, the more they take out, you got insurance, you got tags, decals.
Mm,
It's so much goes into running your own business.
okay. Okay. Hey, you know what we're talking about? You running your own business. What's in your company? Man, I'm just gonna type it in the chat just in case somebody may see it. They want to reach out to you, or somebody want to do some business. Well, what's the name of your company?
What's the name of my company?
Yeah,
Rolling on time.
ROLLING
Yeah,
ONTIME.
yeah.
Rolling.
ROLLINGONTIMEINC.
INC. Okay. Rolling on time trucking. Put that in there. Put that in the chat. Let me put that in the chat. Well, you've been broadcast on 4 networks right now. Black USA News. Shout out to Donnie and the rest of our hosts. We have hosts. We have about 20 hosts right now across the platform. Black USA News. This is YouTube. That was the Facebook channel. Uh, the Robaer Report. That's my channel. And Donnie Glover is another channel that's on YouTube. So we want to put that out there. I'm gonna hold up the Robaer Report since that's me personally right there. So, all right. So back to the trucking. So you got into the business. You liked it. You enjoyed it. It was something that you wanted to do, and you actually left. You left looking into one career to go into a new career. People, you began to be excited about the income you're bringing in. You even brought one of your friends along who got excited about the income they can have. You end up getting yourself your own authority trucking company. Now you're at this place. Now you've been in business for how many years?
2.
You've been your own boss for 2 years right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2 years.
All right. Okay. You had your own truck. I guess the only person telling you what to do is the people at the state level or the people controlling the company. How does that work as your own boss? You have your own truck. Are you hiring employees right now, or have you had to fire employees? What does that mean, like being an owner operator or having your own line of authority?
Uh, you hire people and they have the access to do what they want because it's their equipment. You just hire on the operators and they pick their own nose and run how they want to run, and you only get 10% off them
Okay.
to cover all the insurance and cargo insurance and things like that.
Okay.
And they have gas cards where they use so they don't have to use their money, and it comes out on the bank settlement of what all they charge for.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So now as an owner operator having your own line of authority, I'm saying that because I want to make sure that my language is clear about what you do. While you hiring people, what are you all hauling? If that's the right word to use. What are you all carrying from point A to point B? Is it produce? Is it logs? Is it furniture? What are you all moving?
I got a drop box, so I have most of the furniture, uh, anything that can go inside a drop box.
Okay.
You can have a flatbed, you can have a reefer, where the reefer high produce, meat, and stuff like that.
Okay.
You have to have your own equipment and get on with us.
Okay. Because you have the authority.
Yeah.
Right. So you have the authority. You can hire own operators who bring their own equipment. They're gonna make most of the make most of the money, but they have to kind of pay you to cover your expenses for bringing them on.
Yeah,
That's
10% to cover the expenses.
okay, man. That's a pretty nice business, man. Because well, I assume you helping other people bring themselves some income. You yourself staying as the boss man. So that's a good thing because it shows they have to respect you and what you have been able to accomplish in your years in trucking. Um, so I'll jump to your education. You say you went to school for coaching. What skills, if this applies to you, if it doesn't, I understand. What skills did you take from your training as a coach or in school that you were able to take to the trucking world, if you were able to do any?
Like you looking for a player that you want to go hard for you to win. You look for a driver like it. Is he
Okay,
really gonna check his equipment? Is he gonna stay up to date on things? Uh, Learning how to manage different personalities.
okay, wow, wow, okay. So you out here
Knowing
prospecting?
when, knowing when to go and not to go.
Okay, okay. Jeez. So okay, so yeah, man, I'm Tommy, man, I'm happy. I'm excited that you answered my text. I don't even know. I don't think I ever called you. I think I just started texting. I'm happy that you answered my text because this conversation right here is vital because instead of what you have is what's called a trade, and
Right,
so this is a high income trade that you have in the world of trucking. So a person like myself, I'll be honest with you. When you said earlier that one of the things they had to teach you was how to back up, that's one of my greatest fears right there. Just to be honest with you, trying to back the truck up. I drove a box truck when I was 19, 20, and I drove the box truck and I hit a pole, man. And it messed me up. I was like, hold on. I'm just driving a box truck and I hit a pole. What happens if I get in one of those big 18 wheelers? But for a person like you were able to overcome that, whatever that was of backing up the truck, to the point where you're able to help other people who have the skill go into business for themselves. Um, one because we almost at our 30-minute mark. Like I said, I ain't gonna try to keep you too long. One of my last questions is, what do you see? What are your hopes for the future for your business? This is something you're going to be planning to do for the next 25, 30 years? Is this something that's short term or not short term, next 10 years, and you'll hand it off to another partner? What's your ideas? If I can ask you that question.
my idea is to get to where I can train people. You know, maybe start my own trucking school to train people, so I can
Mm-hmm.
be at home more and still have that trucking coming and running how I got it running, which is get on the operator, but to give more people opportunities to get in the industry uh, for a cheaper price where it won't hurt their pockets. Like when I
Okay.
got my CDL, they were charging $7,800. Try to help
Okay.
people get in more at a fair price and
Okay.
see if some people want
Say that again. The phone.
like
Your audio went out. What'd you say?
try to make more opportunities for the people in the community that can't work a physical job, but they can drive
Okay.
and make a good living.
Okay. Gotcha. I got you. Well, should I tell you what, time, man? I work with other producers, broadcasters, and so if you don't mind, I'm gonna shop your name throughout our network, and somebody maybe give you a call at some point about going on the air, talking about other things, trucking, besides what I talk to you about. Because my goal is to have you back on the show at some point in the near future, as I do with most people who come on the show. I have them back. Um, and so I thank you for your time, man. Any last words for the guests, for the audience?
The mic was clouded all the way through, so I don't really know what you said.
Well, this has been the Robaer Report. Uh, technical difficulty towards the end. I really appreciate you all's time. We were here with one of the guys I grew up with in Mississippi, Tommie Cotton, who's doing extremely well in his trucking company, Rolling on Time. Once again, welcome to the Robaer Report. We shall be back here 8 o'clock p.m. on Monday. Monday will be the August 29th, same time. And once again, this is the Robaer Report, where we're talking to business owners and people who are just doing it, having a good time in their career paths. Continue to support the show. Continue to support the network. Have a great day. Bye-bye.